Yo, what's going on guys, X2 Flare here and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have got the FPL GAMEWEEK 9 wildcard draft templates. This is essentially where I recommend you 3 wildcard draft teams. If you guys are looking to play a wildcard this week, these are the 3 most recommended teams that I will put forward to you guys. So if you want to see more of this content, give it a like and subscribe. Also check out our Patreon, the link and details to that are in the description. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So taking a look at the first wildcard draft template, this is essentially a triple premium midfield template which doesn't have Salah in currently because he's out with an illness, but the funds are available and the players in the squad are available to simply transfer him in the next week so you can have that triple premium midfield. So having a look at the goalkeeper and defense, this is pretty much going to stay constant throughout the 3 wildcard drafts as there is no really need to change the defense. They're all pretty cheap, reliable players with very good upcoming fixtures, so this is the most likely defense that I would recommend to anyone looking to play a wildcard. So having a look at the goalkeepers, it's Alex McCarthy who's going to be starting. You could go for Emi Martinez as well, but for that 0.3 million cheaper, I think McCarthy is better value, and especially since some of the defenders are from Aston Villa as well, I don't want to risk that double up on defense. The other goalkeeper is Button from West Brom. This could be any 4 million goalkeeper. I just chose the goalkeeper from West Brom because it is very unlikely that I'm going to be using West Brom outfield players, and it just allows me to have that 3 players from the same team. Instead of going for like someone with Steer, it limits me to only having 2 more Aston Villa players, so just by having that West Brom player, it allows me to have a wider range of options. So taking a look at the 3 starting defenders, it's Matt Targett, Ben Chilwell and Vladimir Coufal. Matt Targett is coming in at £4.5 million, which is looking like a very nice value option to get into that Aston Villa defence instead of the likes of Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings. Aston Villa have made a very good start defensively this season, and Matt Targett is looking like a very nice attacking option, and for his price tag of just £4.5 million, he could be a very good one to consider, especially since Aston Villa have incredible upcoming fixtures. These include Brighton, West Ham, Newcastle and Wolves as their next 4. In fact, in their next 7 fixtures, they do not have a fixture above a 3 on the difficulty rating. Moving on to Ben Chilwell, he is coming in at £6 million and is just looking like an absolutely essential defender to have in FPL just because he's offering so many good attacking returns, and with the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold out, he seems to be the new set and forget defender to have in the FPL squads. In just 5 starts for Chelsea, Ben Chilwell has already recorded 2 goals, 2 assists and 3 clean sheets, giving him the #1 ICT index ranking for defenders. He's currently the most owned defender in FPL, so it is definitely a good opportunity if you're playing the wildcard and don't have Ben Chilwell to get him into the side. Now moving on to Vladimir Coufal, he's coming in at £4.5 million. It may seem a bit crazy going for a West Ham defender, but they've actually made a very good start defensively this season. West Ham have very good upcoming fixtures, with their next 4 including Sheffield, Villa, United and Leeds, and in fact in their next 10 fixtures they only have 2 matches with above a 3 ranking on the FDR. This season Vladimir Coufal has recorded 2 assists and 2 clean sheets in just 5 starts for West Ham, and he's looking like another good value option along with Matt Targett for that £4.5 million price tag, and considering that he only has a 1.6% ownership, could be a very nice differential pick in defence. So taking a look at the 2 substitutes, it's Lamptey and Tyrick Mitchell. Lamptey is coming in at £4.7 million and is looking like another nice value cheap option in defence. He has been very good defensively this season and is also providing those attacking returns for Brighton, as this season he has recorded 1 goal and 3 assists. And to cap off the defenders, Tyrick Mitchell is coming in at £4.1 million. This is essentially the minimum price for defenders, and for someone that could potentially start when he comes back from injury for Palace, he could be a very nice cheap option just to have as a rotation for when other defenders have bad fixtures. Obviously Tyrick Mitchell does offer good attacking threat for Crystal Palace, and if he can return to the side for next game week, could be a very good option to consider, as Crystal Palace's next 3 include Burnley, Newcastle and West Brom, which is obviously very high potential for some clean sheets. So now moving on to the midfield, we've gone with 4 players in the middle of the park, which include Jack Grealish, Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne and James Rodriguez. Jack Grealish is coming in at £7.5 million, and we all know has made an absolutely incredible start to the season, as he is now the 3rd highest scoring midfielder midfielder in FPL. He has scored a total of 60 FPL points so far and has a very high ownership of 35%, so if you are playing a wildcard, Jack Grealish would definitely be one to consider to get into the sides, considering Villa's incredible upcoming fixtures, as in their next 7 fixtures they do not have one single game above a 3 FDR rating. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes, this may seem a bit knee-jerky considering that he got 17 points last game week, but United's fixtures are actually looking very nice, as their next 4 include West Brom, Southampton, West Ham and City. And then apart from that, up until game week 25, they only have 3 fixtures with an FDI rating of 4. This season Bruno Fernandes has recorded 5 goals and 3 assists, and obviously is on penalties and free kicks as well, which just provides so many attacking returns for him, just getting him those extra FPL points. Moving on to Kevin De Bruyne, he is coming in at £11.5 million with a very low 16% ownership. This season De Bruyne has made 5 starts for Manchester City and has recorded 1 goal and 3 assists. This is obviously not his best form, but with his incredible turn of fixtures, he has got Tottenham, Burnley, Fulham and United as his next 4, and outside of that, up until game week 22, he only has 3 fixtures with a difficulty rating of 4 or above. For such a class player that is so under-owned, he could be a very good one to get into the FPL squads considering these turn of fixtures, and really the only reason that he has not been performing that well is that he's been getting injured this season, and City have actually had some quite difficult fixtures to start the season, as these include Wolves, Leicester, Arsenal and Liverpool, so these are very good reasons why De Bruyne has not been performing well. So if you are looking for a very nice premium option in midfield, then De Bruyne is looking like the man. And to cap off the midfield, taking a look at James Rodriguez, he's coming in at £7.9 million and seems to be the player that is temporarily in the squad, and then just to swap him out next week to bring in Salah to get that triple premium midfield. I know it may seem not ideal to make a transfer the week after you've played a wild card, but this week James Rodriguez has got Fulham away, so if you do want to capitalise on that fixture, I am banking on some big James Rodriguez returns, so for that reason he is temporarily in the squad next week. I'm just going to transfer him out next week to get in Mo Salah and obtain that triple premium midfield. So now looking at the attackers, there's 3 players up top which include Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Patrick Bamford and Ollie Watkins. Obviously with the triple premium midfield and Jack Grealish, there was no room for any premium forwards up top, but these budget options are actually looking very nice from an attacking standpoint for the upcoming game weeks, and could potentially match the big boys such as Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is obviously a very good FPL asset to have this season. He's coming in at £7.8 million and has scored a whopping 8 goals and 1 assist so far. He just continues to provide those reliable returns, and he has very good next fixtures which include Fulham, Leeds and Burnley as his next 3, so you can almost bank on some confirmed goals for him in the next 3 game weeks. Moving on to Patrick Bamford, he's coming in at just £6.1 million but has already compiled a whopping 58 FPL points so far. This season he has recorded 7 goals and 2 assists, and is also looking like a very reliable performer up top, and is the main spearhead of that Leeds attack. He is getting all the service from that Leeds team and is getting so many chances every game, and with the ICT index ranking of number 3 for forwards, he is definitely one to have in the squads for the next few game weeks. Now moving on to Ollie Watkins, similar to Patrick Bamford, he is also looking like a very nice value option up top, coming in at around that £6 million price range. He's already scored a whopping 47 points this season and has recorded 6 goals and 1 assist so far. He's only owned by 6.9% of managers and is looking like a very nice differential option up top, and with the very good fixtures for Aston Villa being Brighton, West Ham, Newcastle and Wolves as their next 4, it could be a very nice time to pick up a more cheaper option and a bit of a differential pick in the forward line. Instead of Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane, Ollie Watkins could be the go. So now taking a look at the second wildcard draft template, this is essentially a double premium midfield with a premium forward option, which does allow for extra funds to be spread around the squad as you do have money left in the bank. So taking a look at the midfield and defense, they are looking very similar. The only main difference I would say is that James Rodriguez is a more long-term option, or at least a short-term set and forget, because you've spent that extra money on the striker. Another player you could have in midfield is Mo Salah instead of De Bruyne or Fernandes when he returns, but for now you could have James Rodriguez or Wilfried Zaha as that 5th midfielder slot. these players do have very good next 3 fixtures, which you can always utilise to capitalise on these short-term returns. And taking a look at the main difference in the side, up top, Jamie Vardy comes in instead of Ollie Watkins. Jamie Vardy is coming in at £10.1 million and is looking like a nice alternative to Harry Kane, who has very difficult upcoming fixtures. This allows you to get a cheaper forward for £0.8 million and also have a forward with a way less ownership, as Vardy only has 21.3% ownership compared to Harry Kane's 45%. Jamie Vardy has scored 59 total FPL points this season, making him the second highest scoring forward in FPL, and recording 8 goals and 2 assists. He is looking like a nice reliable option to have up top. You could say that he only gets his points from penalties, but at the end of the day, FPL points are FPL points, and regardless of how he gets them, he is proving that he can get those returns, so Jamie Vardy could be one to consider to bring into the wildcard draft. This brings me to my third and final wildcard draft, which is essentially a quad primo team with 3 premium midfielders and 1 premium forward. So having a look at the defense, it is the same as the previous 2 drafts. As I said, this defense is looking very reliable for some more defensive returns, and also are looking like good value options to get some attacking returns as well. Having a look at the midfield, the difference this time is that there is 3 premium players in the middle of the park, which include Fernandes, Salah and De Bruyne. Obviously, if you don't want to play Salah this week, Sterling is also another good premium option which you could consider, especially considering that Manchester City have a very nice turn of fixtures. As a result of this triple premium midfield, instead of having Grealish, you can have Thomas Souček in instead, who's actually looking like a decent option for his price tag of just £4.9 million. Souček is only owned by 2.8% of managers, but this season has recorded 1 goal, 1 assist and 3 clean sheets. West Ham have some very nice upcoming fixtures, and does actually seem to be providing some good attacking threat for West Ham, as he did get himself a goal in game week 9, which was actually the winner against Fulham. So if you do back in Thomas Souček to sort of match Grealish's points for the next couple of game weeks, it is a good opportunity to capitalise on a very underowned player in midfield, as West Ham's fixtures are looking very good, with in fact only 3 fixtures up until game week 24 having an FDR rating above 3. And with this Thomas Souček signing in midfield, it allows for Jamie Vardy to be up top as well. Obviously, Jamie Vardy has recorded 8 goals and 2 assists this season, and is looking like a very good option to have up top. So that's what I've got for today, guys, for the FPL Game Week 9 wildcard draft template. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I hope this was helpful in assisting you choosing a wildcard team if you did play a wildcard for Game Week 9. Also, don't forget to check out our Patreon for some behind the scenes content, and with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.